with the men, okay, because gender roles are important. Um, so the men you could consider as the body of the community. All right, it is their role to establish the physicality of the community. So they have to basically establish the physical location where the community is to be placed, and they're supposed to maintain that physical presence. So they're supposed to establish security, make sure that they can protect the area that they claim, right, for this purpose. This is because men are more naturally gifted towards physical endeavors, physical tasks. All right. Um, and so their role is to use that physical prowess to enact violence on the environment in order to claim the space they need. So, for example, if they're going to claim an area of land, they need to basically prepare it and clear it out. Basically cut out the natural vegetation to sort of domesticate the land. Okay, that is violence, and that is why, stereotypically speaking, and stereotypically speaking, violence is sort of dominated by the masculine, by men. All right, it's because of the their natural build and and sort of temperament and inclination towards physical expression. All right. Men are supposed to use violence to sort of establish a physical environment for a community to thrive within it. That's their role. Your body being your physical presence, it's also, not really going too deep into these sort of metaphysical concepts. In layman's terms, it is the first point of contact with the external world. Well, physical contact anyway, right? It's the first point of physical contact with the external world. And therefore it is a natural barrier between your internal world and your external world. So this is the role that men are supposed to play for the community relative to the world outside of the community. They're supposed to be that wall that protects, keeps out the external world and protects the internal world. Okay. Now they do this by, um, firstly, like I said, they have to collaborate. They have to institutionalize their relationships, come up with a number of rules that regulate their relationships. They have to then extrapolate those rules to apply to the space that they're going to claim together as a body, as a collective of men. Okay, and how it is exactly they intend, and in what manner they intend to enforce the boundary between the chaos of the outside and the order of the inside. So their role is to establish a order and a level of order within a specific space that they claim, a territory that they claim. Okay. Now they're supposed to come to an agreement on how to do this, because it is based on this agreement that order will be established. That agreement is the order, because it prevents them, it allows them to reach a consensus on what is the reality that they're going to build within this territory. How is life going to be in the territory? And what are the rules, or what are the rules that need to be upheld to make sure that that life is manifested, that type of life is manifested in the territory? Okay, so it is very important that men do this, because if men fail to do this, right, then essentially, they, each individual human being, including women, will be living in a chaotic environment, right? Because no specific area of land will be demarcated for order as established by men, because men are going to be running around because they're not working together. They're going to be running around and clashing. You're just going to have a chaos of violence erupting, um, you know, spontaneously. You're going to have people just running around taking from each other, and especially men killing each other. So no one would really be able to establish anything sustainable, because anyone else, because of the fact that there is no agreement on what reality should be within a specific area or location. Anybody can just come, anybody with a different perspective on reality will say, hey, I like what you have, but I don't know you. I'm just going to take it from you. Or I'm just going to sabotage you. I'm just going to steal from you. Right. So it's the agreement amongst men. It's very important to establishing a stable, secure environment. It is required. It is not a suggestion. When men are successful at establishing this, firstly at institutionalizing their relationships, and then basically having these rules amongst them that regulate their relationships, and then extrapolating those rules to apply to a specific area of land that they claim for themselves for the purposes of establishing a community. That area that they've claimed will be different from the environment that is around it. It'll have more order, it'll be safer because the men will be collaborating to maintain and establish its safety. All right. Now, this will attract women. Men will attract them because the men are going to be, more confident because the support for each other will give them strength. Firstly, it will give them physical strength because they'll have strength in numbers, but it'll also give each man spiritual strength, like what I would call confidence, spiritual strength, right? Because he will draw that spiritual strength from his physical strength, from his reliance of on the physical strength given to him by his spirit brothers. All right. So these are the other men with whom he has established an agreement, and collectively they work together and collaborate. Okay. So when women see men move in this organized manner, okay, it it shows to them that there is order here, and there is a sense of stability and a sense of predictability, and which is preferable from an environment of chaos where anybody can just come and rape you, where anybody can just come and take from you. So these men, they have an agreement on how to share, and what to share and when to share, and when to, they have rules on these things, and that makes the environment more manageable to live in. So not just women will come, even other men will want to join, because they'll say, you know what, this is better than me being unsure of the next man, whether or not he's going to kill me in my sleep or not. This is essentially what is referred to in the red pill, or in the sort of manosphere, or in the sort of gender relation space, as an alpha male. An alpha male is basically a man who's part of that kind of arrangement amongst men, because he is strong by the virtue of the strength that he gets from his spirit brothers. And the reason why I call them spirit brothers is because he won't be related by blood to every one of them. Okay, so he becomes a brother through agreement, a brother through commitment. Okay, so that's being a brother in spirit. They're not friends. It's more than a friendship. This is an institutionalized friendship. You know, um, lives are at stake, right? Um, the stakes are high. You can lose your life. You have to protect this place. You have to protect your brothers. You have to protect the place, the whatever it is that you do together, your relationships with your lives. So this is not an average friendship that I'm talking about. Okay, so um, each man in that collective is an alpha male because he is neither below or above his next the brother next to him. They're all equal, and he is absolutely sure by virtue of that agreement that he can call upon his brothers to assist him in any way, obviously within reasonable limits, I'd assume, right? So that means he commands a level of strength that is superhuman. He can get 20, the rest of the other men who are maybe 20 or 50, they will stand behind him, not below him. They will support him. And he will support any other one of any one of his brothers who calls upon him and the rest of them to assist him as well. So he's also called upon to shoulder the same responsibility, right? So it's a brotherhood of equality. I'll speak about leadership and hierarchy in another video. Um, but basically, these brothers are equal. An alpha male, that is what an alpha male is. He's not above anyone, but he's not below anyone either. He's respected equally within the brotherhood. Okay, so going back to women. So, women, as I said, women and men will be attracted also to this. Men will want to join, and women will want to sort of be a part of that community. Okay. Um, Now, with respect to the role of women, the role of women is more to firstly, let me say it like this, because men are more oriented towards the physical aspects of life, right? The violence related or based physical aspects of life. Because from my perspective, the physical aspects of life are all rooted in violence. Okay, if you want to plant a tree, you have to dig the ground, you have to damage the ground and open it and put the tree in. Anything physical is violent by nature. Okay, so because men are oriented towards that, they're more physical in aspect, they are the body, they naturally hunger for the spiritual. Okay, and that this from my perspective, this is what is the natural attraction between you know um, natural attraction to women by men. There is a natural need for the body to have a spirit to be alive. A body without a spirit is a zombie, and a zombie is an abomination. Which and the reason why it is a zombie is that firstly, it is undead in the sense that, from my understanding of that term, or the way that I use that term, is to say that what is the use of establishing it? There is no real purpose that is worth anything, right? So men can come together and establish a body, fine, and do something together, and sort of achieve a task, and collaborate together. But if women are not involved in that, whatever it is that they achieve will be beneficial to them in the shortest of terms. It'll just be a short-term achievement, and in the span of time, that is irrelevant. So essentially, what they achieve, fine, they can enjoy the achievement in the moment, in the time, and in their lifetime. But once they die, whatever it is that they achieve dies with them. So a woman through her womb, um, is able to sort of prolong the life of of the body that men establish, and whatever endeavors they undertake using that body. Okay, so they do that by having children with women, and then women give birth to the next generation that can carry this through. So essentially, without women, there is just no continuity. Things end when you die, and that's that.